Good evening. I'm here to tell you all a story of radical self-care. This is my story of coming home to my body. So about 5 years ago, I was in a low point in my life. The chronic pain in my body was so bad that I felt it all the time. I felt broken. I felt lost. Finally, I reached out for help, and I started seeing a massage therapist. He recommended that I practice yoga and mindfulness in addition to regular massage. Mindfulness was really hard at first. I found that I was always in my head, thinking. But with practice, I got better at bringing my attention back to the present moment. My senses began to open to the world around me. At the same time, I was working on a farm, and I began to use my farm work as a mindfulness practice. I practiced paying attention to my body, using my legs, engaging my core to lift. I had to pay attention to my body all day long. It was great practice. I found that in my paying attention to my body, I had pain all over, in more places than I had previously expected. And instead of distracting myself or separating myself from the pain, I started to become curious about it. I explored it with my breath and my awareness. A few months into my meditation practice, I started to notice a new sensation of energy moving through my body. And as I dropped into relaxation with this energy, I found that my body would start to move without me controlling it. It was strange, but I allowed it to happen. And so my head might start to turn to one side, or my arm would raise up. I started to look for places to learn more about this, and I found the Body Therapy Institute right here in Chatham County. It was a great place to continue learning and healing. A few months into my school there, a scar on my head woke up. I knew that I had been attacked by a dog when I was 18 months old, but I never thought much about it. This experience was frozen in my body. In meditation, I actually relived the experience of being held down for stitches. A few months after that, I went to see a shamanic healer when I was in upstate New York. She started playing this giant gong, and my whole body started to shake and tremble. I shook for an hour. It felt like a huge release, but I was just curious, what was this mysterious shaking all about? After that, every time I dropped into relaxation, my body would shake. And it felt good every time, but it was exhausting. It wasn't sustainable. There was something incomplete that my body needed to do. Finally, in anatomy class at the Body Therapy Institute, I learned about the autonomic nervous system. This operates on a mostly unconscious level, regulating basic functions like heart rate and breath and digestion. It has two branches, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic branches. The sympathetic branch arouses the body to action, kind of like right now, my body's aroused to action. The heart rate speeds up, digestion is halted, and blood flows out to the skeletal muscles. This is known as the fight-flight response. The parasympathetic branch comes online when we feel safe and relaxed. Digestion is stimulated, blood flows to the organs, and heart rate slows down. Rest and digest, total bliss. Both branches are equally important for survival and healthy function. And when the fight-flight responses are overwhelmed, the body goes into a freeze. A tremendous amount of survival energy is clamped down. This is an involuntary survival response. It's like having the gas and the brakes on at the same time when it gets stuck. And so this can result in chronic pain and digestion issues and fatigue. So finally, I could explain what the shaking was all about. When the freeze in my nervous system was thawing, my body began to shake as the fight-flight energy was mobilized. That's what was happening. And finally, I found something that could help me called somatic experiencing. This was the next step for me in my healing. It was developed by a PhD researcher named Peter Levine, who studied animals in the wild and spent decades developing a research technique and clinical expertise to help people heal from trauma. In my sessions with the practitioner, I learned to slow down the involuntary movements in my body and allow them to complete. I also learned to feel the fight-flight energy without becoming overwhelmed or frozen by it. I went on to start studying this technique myself last year. Now I use the technique in my practice along with massage to help clients listen to the story that their body is telling. I've worked with people to help them heal from car crashes, falls, wagon wrecks, if that happens. This guy had a big fall. I helped him out. So this work really is about allowing people to live more fully in the present with a greater capacity to respond to life so that their bodies can feel like they're not stuck in the past, still trying to do something that happened a long time ago. Radical comes from the root of growing from the root. I've had a great chance to explore my existence to the roots, and I feel more rooted on the earth. Thank you for listening to my story, and may you all experience your body as a safe and happy home.